This message is for you, because right now you feel low, not just a little tired, but deeply tired, emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, spiritually weak. You've been trying to stay strong, but it's getting harder. You smile in front of others, but inside, you feel like you're breaking, and sometimes, you sit quietly and think, how did my life become like this? You didn't plan for this, you didn't expect this, but here you are, and today, Jesus is saying, my child, I see you. He sees your pain, he sees your struggle, he sees the silent tears you don't show anyone, and he is not ignoring you, even when it feels like nothing is happening. God is watching, God is working. You may feel like you've reached your lowest point, but listen carefully. Sometimes, the lowest point is where God begins to lift you. Right now, you may feel stuck, like nothing is moving, like no matter what you do, things stay the same, and that feeling is heavy. It makes you question everything, it makes you doubt yourself, but Jesus is saying, my child, this is not the end. What feels like the end is actually a turning point. You are not stuck, you are being prepared for something new, something better, something you cannot see yet, because before God lifts you, He strengthens you. Now listen carefully, you are not alone in this. Even if no one understands you, God does. Even if no one sees your struggle, God sees it. Jesus is saying, my child, hold on. Because change is coming, not someday, but soon, and when it happens, you will realize, you were never alone. Now, take a deep breath, even if it feels heavy. Just breathe. You have been carrying so much for so long, pressure from life, pain from the past, fear about the future, and slowly, it started to feel like too much, but Jesus is saying, my child, I am giving you strength. Not the kind of strength that comes from yourself, but the kind that comes from God, the kind that keeps you going, even when you feel like stopping. You may feel weak right now, but you are not as weak as you think, because God is holding you together. Now listen carefully, you are not going to stay in this place forever. This low moment is temporary, even if it feels long, even if it feels endless, it will pass. Jesus is saying, my child, you are rising. Slowly, step by step, you are coming out of this. You may not see big changes yet, but something inside you is shifting, a little more strength, a little more hope, a little more faith, and that is how it begins. Now hear this clearly, hope is returning to your life, not loudly, but quietly. You may feel it in small moments, a slight calmness, a small belief, a tiny spark inside your heart. That is hope. Jesus is saying, my child, don't lose this. Because that small hope will grow, and one day, it will become strong again. Now, something is changing, not just around you, but inside you. The heaviness is not the same, the sadness is not as deep. You are beginning to feel a shift. That shift is your breakthrough starting. Jesus is saying, my child, this is the beginning of your rise. You are not stuck anymore, you are moving forward, even if it's slow, even if it's small, it is real, and this time, nothing will stop it. Now listen carefully, your life will begin to reflect this change, not all at once, but step by step. Situations will start improving, things will feel lighter, opportunities will slowly appear. You will notice, life is not as heavy as before. Jesus is saying, my child, I am lifting you. Lifting you out of stress, lifting you out of confusion, lifting you out of pain, and placing you in a better place. Now hear this clearly, your confidence is returning, not because everything is perfect, but because you survived, you made it through your lowest moments, and that gives you strength. Jesus is saying, my child, stand strong. Stand with faith, stand with courage, because you are not the same person anymore. you are stronger now. Now. Stop for a moment and look at yourself. You've come a long way, from feeling broken, to slowly feeling strong again, from confusion, to clarity, from fear, to faith. Jesus is saying, my child, I have changed you. Not overnight, not suddenly, but step by step. Every struggle you faced was shaping you, and now, you are no longer the same. You are stronger, you are wiser, you are ready. Now listen carefully. You are stepping into a new life, a life that feels lighter, a life that feels calmer, not perfect, but peaceful. The stress that once controlled you no longer has the same power. The fear that once held you back is fading. Jesus is saying, my child, walk forward. Walk with trust, walk with faith, because this new path is leading you to something better. Now hear this clearly. Your lowest point was not your ending, it was your turning point. Everything you went through led you here, to this stronger version of yourself. Jesus is saying, my child, keep going. Because this is only the beginning, a beginning of peace, a beginning of growth, a beginning of a better life. If you believe God is lifting your life right now, type Amen and receive His strength. Now, stay here for a moment, don't rush this, because this is your moment. Look at your journey, all the pain you felt, all the nights you struggled, all the times you thought you couldn't continue, and yet, you are still here. You didn't give up, you didn't break completely, even when it felt like everything was falling apart. Something inside you kept going. Jesus is saying, my child, that was me holding you. When you felt weak, He was your strength. When you felt lost, He was guiding you. When you felt alone, He was right beside you. Now hear this clearly. You are not at your lowest anymore. You are rising. You are stepping into a new version of your life. A life where you are stronger, you are calmer, you are more at peace. This is not just a small change, this is transformation. So don't go back to old fear, don't return to old pain, don't pick up the same worries again. Leave them behind, because where you are going requires a new mindset, a mindset of faith, a mindset of strength, a mindset of trust in God. Jesus is saying, my child, walk forward with me. Because your future is brighter than your past, and what is ahead of you is better than what you went through. This is your new beginning, your turning point, your new life, and it starts now, if you believe God has lifted you from your lowest point. If you feel strength returning in your life, type Amen and step into your new journey.